Hello, how are you? Doing very well. Any questions? Here's my intention. My intention is to come out and answer maybe a couple of questions for a few minutes, and then I'm going to go back and spend time with Simpson's family and Mr. Simpson, and then I'll come back out again. So this is going to be very brief. So anyway, if you're going to say something, you probably should identify your full name, your news organization, and the parent company of the news organization before you ask, okay? Is that fine? Is that a fair deal? All right, how can I help you? I think it was it certainly didn't hurt, and I think it was actually very influential that he came in and he did what he said he was going to do to me when I talked to him on the phone over the course of a couple of weeks, which he was going to testify favorably for Simpson. So I think it was very, very good, and obviously if he had testified negatively, it kind of was going to be contradicted by what he had been telling me. That's kind of why I felt it was important to bring up that conversation with him to say what he's been telling me all along. But right now, Mr. Fromong is there with Mr. Simpson's family. They're all talking right now. He actually would. I asked, Mr. Simpson actually wanted to see Mr. Fromong. Mr. Fromong wanted to see and spend some time with Mr. Simpson. It's not being permitted at this time for various respected reasons for the Nevada Department of Corrections. And so, but they're friends. These are friends, and they were friends. This was a big mishap. So I think it was actually very, very positive. What, in there? I don't think he said anything to me. You know, I mean, the mics were right there. You would have caught it, but I don't think he said anything. He was just very happy. He obviously was very emotional. If you were looking at the cameras, he was very emotional. So, next question.
Stephen Week, NBC Network News. Is he worried about how he's going to be received by the public?
Not at all. No. He's been in the media spotlight since he was 19. If he didn't explain it on camera, he certainly explained it, in private. So he's always used to dealing with media attention. That's never been a problem for him at all. Listen, do you know that Jeffrey Felix is a complete fraud and everything that you said? I was actually watching you earlier this morning when you were giving your testimony. You must have been up pretty early. And I mean, can't you tell that guy is the biggest fraud on the planet? All these stories are said. Move your guy.
All right, everybody, and we are awaiting to hear a press conference from the parole board, but as you can see there, we just lost that shot, so let's go back out loud.
Which is also I've said a million times through your producer that this guy's a fraud and a phony, and every single thing he has in that book is made up, okay? But no, you didn't, and so I don't want you to take any questions from you because you have gone on and perpetrated a fraud for this Jeff Felix, who's supposedly the guarding the juice guy. You embarrass and make a mockery of the corrections officers over here, okay, who are actually doing a really good job. And Mr. Simpson actually has very positive things to say about the Nevada Department of Corrections. The wardens all here have treated him great. They're very compassionate. In his words, they actually treated him terrific, okay? This Jeff Felix is, you see that mullet and how his hair's dyed, right? You don't buy credibility from people who are like that, who even look like that, all right? And you should have at least tried to vet the story. For the last year, you could have vetted the story. So I'm a little bit agitated when I see you. Now, maybe I'm taking it personally because you were the one on the news repeating all this stuff that Jeff Felix said, every bit of which was false, every bit of which is unverifiable, every bit of which is untrue. But you were doing it this morning, okay? So Jeff Felix is a fraud. I don't want to take any questions about Jeff Felix. I don't know what I'll tell you exactly what Jeff Felix is. He was here, he worked in the canteen, and Mr. Simpson, like every other inmate, when they go to canteen once a week, would see this guy. And he was kind of like a minstrel. He'd sit there and tell jokes. He wanted to impress Mr. Simpson, and that's the end of it. He couldn't identify Mr. Simpson's cell, okay? Maybe he knows the unit because someone told him, but he certainly could even identify the cell. And I've already got it in this has agitated me so much that I already have it in progress to strip this guy of his pension benefits. What goes on in this prison here between the Nevada Department of Corrections and its personnel, okay, is confidential. And he violated that by publishing that silly, ridiculous book that he did. So I'm starting the process right now of getting his pension stripped. And if it isn't clear with the Nevada Department of Corrections or the PERS, whoever has the benefits now, the rules definitely need to be changed or clarified that when a corrections officer like Mr. Felix discloses confidential information, of course it's false, But even when he does so, based on someone's celebrity, you just get your pension benefit stripped. So let's say how he likes that when he sees the consequences of his actions right now. So I'm just going to just yank all his pension benefits. Next question.
Did you expect O.J. Simpson to take such a defiant stance, especially in his early testimony, essentially relitigating the whole case?
I don't understand the question. What do you mean? How was he defiant?
He continued to insist that it wasn't his responsibility.
I don't
that
think
he had been bamboozled into the crime.
I disagree with your characterization of that.
How would you describe his
It was an explanation
testimony?
for what was going on. You know, I mean, I don't think he's taken plenty of responsibility. Anytime something like this happens, you obviously wish you could do better. The biggest thing here, what made this case more so than what it was, were the guns, okay? And so that took this case from being kind of a, you know, somewhat of a laughingstock of a case to serious when guns are involved.
He made it that it was his right, essentially, to go back there and get his stuff back. One would think that would be over already.
I don't think he said it was his right. I think he said it was, he wanted it and his stuff was his. So I don't think he said it was right. He didn't feel entitled to, he felt entitled to the property. He now knows that obviously you can't go, even under Nevada law and most laws of the state of the United States, you can't go and take property even though it's 100%, not in dispute that the property belongs to you, okay? You can't go back and take it by force. If for some reason you stole this from me right now, okay, and then I come and I see you and you have it, all right, I can't go and beat you up and hit you with anything to take it back for myself, okay? I can't do it. And so that's it. So I'm not sure when you said he can't take responsibility. He's taking responsibility. He was just offering an explanation. Next question. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to... Not if I have anything to do with it. The answer is no. The Parole and Probation, the Nevada Department of Parole and Probation, which is known as PNP, they just stated that on the record. That's a question you can refer to them, but the date that they stated is the date they stated.
Did anything inside there surprise you?
I'm trying to think. No, I mean, there was a lot of preparation. You know, normally these hearings, I think to actually do a perfect hearing, a parole revocation hearing like this, you probably could have prepared, a lawyer probably could have prepared for less than an hour for this hearing, all right? You see my file here, how much I have. I don't have books of dreams of things. The whole file is in here, okay? And this one obviously was dealing with the onslaught of the media requests, dealing with various things, and dealing with the Nevada Department of Corrections through their liaisons, and dealing with the Department of Parole and Probation through their liaisons. And I mean, I may come out, but my intention right now is to go spend more time with Mr. Simpson and his family. I don't think there was anything that was surprising because we were able to control a lot of things so well, so much, and especially the hearing. The biggest part of the hearing, obviously, for me was making sure that certain information was just kept, you know, obviously there's a 10,000-pound elephant in that room, and I think we were very successful in making sure that that elephant was sleeping and that it was washed and very cleaned, and that it never started, you know, rearing its head or knocking things around. So that was, for me, that's 100% success when that was excluded and kept out. Thank you. No, that was just a letter he had communicated to Assemblyman Fumo, and that was just in the letter. That was the content of the letter. I just read it. That was a letter from him to Assemblyman Fubo, and he's just saying a letter because he had just taken a computer course. And obviously one of the things you learn in computer courses is, if you're doing any modern day computer stuff, is web pages, blogging, all of that stuff. So he said that. So it's not something I would ever advise. What's your name? What's your name and your organization? No, I wasn't referring to that at all. I mean, come on. You know exactly what I was referring to. Come on.
Doubt he would get paroled?
Excuse me?
Did you ever doubt that he would get paroled?
Well, the answer is yes, and no. Yes, because Mr. Simpson is obviously a very polarizing figure. He's very, very well loved. He's, but also he's, you know, held into contempt by a lot of people. And he also wanted to thank the media for, you know, not thank the media, excuse me, thank the people, his fans who have communicated through the media. You won't publish the positive things that are said about him, but he's, you know, all of his fans have sent him mail saying that they've sent a lot of information to the media, and I've never seen any of it published, maybe one article or something like that. So he wants to thank them. He wants to thank the NDOC, thank the PNP, all of these organizations. So he's just so polarizing. Going back to your question, he's just so polarizing that it was hard to really know the certainty of this. I'll tell you one thing that made me very optimistic, and I'll be very frank with you here. The one thing that made me very optimistic is that and this is something I don't think was published, is that the parole commissioners here that you saw, the 4 individuals, and then there's 2 others that are still active. It's a commission that's 7 total. Those commissioners are actually appointed. They're not elected officials, okay? So they're actually appointed by the governor, and more importantly, and this is what's important, this is why I started feeling very, very good about this, they can only be removed for impeachment, almost like a federal judge. Now, their terms expire, but they can only be removed for impeachment. So they can make decisions regardless of the outcry and the heat on them, okay? That's unlike the process that Mr. Simpson has been exposed to for the last 9 years, where he's dealing with elected judges. And listen, who wants to be the judge who has to run for office that says, I did something favorable to let O.J. Simpson go? I mean, we put on, when I say we, attorneys Tom Pitaro and attorneys Ozzie Fumo and attorneys Trish Palm, all phenomenal lawyers. They actually helped me prepare for this hearing today. They put on probably one of the strongest habeas cases you'll ever find, okay, after the conviction. And it was an uphill battle, and it was respected that it was an uphill battle. But I just, you know, if you sit in those judges' seats and you like your judge position and you know that it's elected, if you do anything negatively against, if you do anything favorably for Simpson, you got to be thinking, hey, someone's going to I'm going to draw an opponent, and the first thing the opponent's going to say is, this is the judge that let O.J. Simpson go, okay? So that's it. All right, I'm going to go back and spend some more time. Huh? I'm going to go back and spend time with Mr. Simpson and his family a little bit. I'll be back after it's finished. It's kind of hot out here, and hopefully it's hot enough for you to all be gone by then. But if you're not, I'll answer some more questions, all right? Take care.